Alright, it's Henry again, and I figure you don't really see all that many reviews of action bases, and that's kind of a shame seeing as how it's such a helpful little tool. So I figured I'd do a review of the Action Base 1. So anyway, this is the Action Base 1's package. It comes in a bag rather than a box. And you can get them in all kind of different colors. This is obviously the clear version. And let's go ahead and open this guy up. Let's see, opens up on the top. There we go. Alright. So inside, you're going to get the main base plate, large octagon. You're going to get a bag of parts. You're going to get 2 screws and a nut. And then you got the main front piece of paper here. And on the back of that, it's got the instructions for assembly. Alright, so when you get everything assembled, this is what you're going to have. Now, I unboxed, or unbagged rather, the clear action base, but since it's clear, it's kind of hard to see, so for the rest of the review, I'm going to go with the black action base, just because it's easier to see on my white background here. So, you'll get the action base here, and I'll show you all of its features in a minute. You're also going to get some other stuff. You've got this little signpost, I guess. You can clip out a little piece of paper and glue it on there, and either write your mobile suit's name on it or print it out on the computer. Type will probably look a little bit better. And that'll fit into these little holes so you can have a little name display there. You're going to get 3 different sizes of connectors for holding the mobile suits. This is kind of a U-shaped connector that will hold it up under the pegs where the hips are. So I'll show you that in a minute. This piece is pretty much completely useless. In fact, even in the instruction manual, they X it out and tell you you're not even going to need it, so not even sure why it's included. You get a peg connector, where you can either drill out a hole and insert that peg, or like a lot of more modern high grades already have a hole in the crutch anyway that you can use that for. And also we've got a similar piece that I don't think you're going to be using all that often. It's a flat piece, and you pretty much drill a hole into the backside or crotch or somewhere on the model kit, put this against it, and then put that screw in there. They kind of demonstrate that here on the instruction manual with a Zagok. Anyway, that's kind of how it works. Honestly, don't know why you wouldn't just use the peg version. But anyway, there's the other connector there. So now let's go over everything this action base can do. So the whole thing is kind of customizable. It can all come apart like so. This little square piece you can put on any side of this little octagon shaped base, so you can put it anywhere you want. This little small octagon shaped piece you can put in the center. You can either leave that in or leave it out, doesn't really matter. And then the arm, which is used to hold the mobile suits, is actually pretty nifty. It's got a hinge down here at the bottom. This old peg's going to connect into any of these holes. You've got a secondary arm down here. It's a little bit smaller, but it's got this little system where you can turn it and extend it, and it's got different notches that it can click into, and it'll stay at that length. So you've got 5 different little notches you can set the length at. And here is a little latch. You can open that up, and that will allow you to extend the arm out. As you can see, it's got these little ridges in here. That's what the latch kind of latches onto inside the arm there. And it'll lock into place, so there's no worry of it sliding down on you if you've got a particularly heavy model kit. And then at the top here, The top has got a screw and a nut, so that's nice and sturdy. Very, very tight. It's even got a ratcheting joint there. So there's pretty much no worry of that falling down at all. And if it does get kind of loose, all you got to do is tighten that screw up a little bit more. And then you've got the connector. They all have the same shaped little piece down here. It's going to plug into there. And it's an octagon shape, so you can, it doesn't rotate. So once you get it in there, it won't rotate, but you can pull it out and put it at different angles if you want, like so. Just like that. And then after you get it situated however you want, all you got to do is plug it in. There you go. Like you said earlier, you've got all these different holes, so you can put it in all sorts of different configurations. You can extend that arm out as long as you want, and it can go pretty much anywhere you need it to go. Really, really versatile display base. Now, it seems like shortly after Bandai started making the action bases, they started including action base connectors with all of their master grades. But for the master grades that came out before that, you'll use these little connectors that come with the action base itself. Like GPO3 here, all you got to do is connect that. Oh, using the wrong size. That's why they give you 3 different sizes, because different size mobile suits, you know how it goes. Anyway, you're just going to push that, and it's going to just kind of, that U-shaped part is going to connect up under the hip joints, and then all you got to do is put it on the action base, and there you go. And it holds pretty much any average sized mobile suit very, very well. You can tilt it pretty much any angle you want. Shake it, they're not going to fall off. You can even extend that little arm out and even extend this guy up, so you can really put them way up above the action base like so. And even then, very, very stable connection. Just make sure you're using you know, an appropriate size. They give you a skinny, medium, and fat one to fit pretty much any mobile suit you would need it for. However, just know that some of the larger master grades, like Customizability, aren't going to be quite as stable as GPO3. You're going to have a harder time fitting those on an action base. In fact, you can go watch my master grade Customizability review. I was able to get him on the action base, but he was just barely balancing on it. One little push and he was going to topple over. So just know that for average size mobile suits, they're all perfectly fine, but for the larger ones like Customizability and the O, you might run into some balance issues. And even for 1:144 scale mobile suits, like I said, most newer high grades have the hole in the crotch that'll be able to accommodate this peg up here. So fit that on there. Action base will hold it no problem. Absolutely no weight issues whatsoever on pretty much any 1:144 scale mobile suit. Even something big like VO or Customizability or Kshatriya. Although I wouldn't try to put your Dendrobium Orcus on one. But if your 1:144 scale kit in question doesn't have the hole in the crotch, you could always drill one, or you could use the skinny connector, and that'll also work just fine. Might not go down all the way, but it'll still be able to hold the kit up perfectly well. Now you may be thinking, will an action base hold up a 1/60th scale kit? I absolutely would not recommend it. 1/60th scale kits are just going to be too big, and even if you did manage to get them on an action base somehow, they would be so incredibly top heavy that they just fall over with the slightest provocation. So I definitely would not recommend putting 1/60th scale kits on an action base 1. But hopefully that's something Bandai will address in the future, maybe a possible action base 4. And the uber customizable design of the action base allows you to connect several action bases together, as many as you want, in fact, and create displays for multiple mobile suits. So you can really, really go crazy if you want to put a bunch of these things together. And like I said earlier, they have lots of different colors and even different like decal schemes and design versions. For standard action bases, you've got black, gray, clear, white, even a Char Custom Red action base. They also make action bases for Sinanju and Unicorn Gundam, make a Federation and Xeon action base, Celestial Being action base, all kinds of different stuff for customization options. So pretty much any mobile suit you've got, you can have an action base to match it. So that about does it for my review of the Action Base 1. I love these things. I've loved them ever since they first came out. And as you can tell, I have quite a few of them, and I probably haven't bought my last Action Base 1. They're particularly great for 1 to 100 scale mobile suits. I think that's their strongest display possibility, I guess you would say. 1 to 144 scale mobile suits, you're not really going to need, unless it's a really big mobile suit like Theo or Kshatriya, in which case for a normal 1 to 144 scale kit you could probably get away with it using an Action Base 2. But for 1 to 100 scale kits, these work really, really well. Their customizability, is that even a word, really makes them nice. The fact that you can put the display arm at so many different angles, you can disconnect all the parts and rearrange them however you want, connect multiple action bases together. Just really, really cool the way you can put these things together and all the different things you can do with them. The arm is nice and stable. Like I said, the only time you're going to have weight issues is when you're using really, really big mobile suits. The new Gundam here is pretty much the size maximum you're going to have on an Action Base 1. Like I said, I tried Sazabi and it was just a little bit too big. 160 scale kits just aren't going to work out. But for everything else, I think these things are great. They retail for 550 yen, and most places you can get these things for about $6 or $7. I wouldn't pay too much more than that. Some places you'll see them for, $8, $9, $10, but $6 or $7 I think is a really good price for these. So that about does it for this review. I think I've covered everything that needs to be covered, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.